The Yangtze River, a lifeline of China, once held a secret in its murky depths. This was the Baiji, the Yangtze River dolphin. Unlike its ocean-dwelling cousins, the Baiji lived its entire life in fresh water, specifically the rushing waters of the Yangtze. For centuries, the Baiji thrived in this environment, its pale figure a fleeting ghost in the churning currents. The Baiji had adapted to its unique habitat, developing specialized senses to navigate the muddy river and find food. But the Baiji's story, like the river it called home, was about to take a dramatic turn. The Baiji, known for its elusive nature and pale, almost white skin, earned a mythical status among the local communities. They called it the goddess of the Yangtze, a title that spoke volumes about the respect and reverence it inspired. Fishermen would tell tales of the Baiji, weaving stories of its intelligence and grace into their folklore. Some stories even credited the Baiji with guiding lost fishermen to safety, or bringing good fortune to those who treated the river with respect. However, as China modernized and industrialized at a rapid pace, the delicate balance between humans and nature along the Yangtze began to crumble. The once sacred river was increasingly seen as a resource to be exploited, its waters teeming with potential for economic growth. The Baiji, once a symbol of the river's untamed spirit, now faced a new and formidable threat, the relentless advance of human progress. The Yangtze River, often called simply the Yangtze or Changjiang, meaning Long River, flows for over 6,300 kilometers from the Tibetan Plateau to the East China Sea. It is the longest river entirely within one country and the third longest in the world. The Yangtze Basin is home to a diverse range of ecosystems, from the snow-capped mountains of its headwaters to the fertile plains and bustling cities downstream. For millennia, the Yangtze has been a source of life for the Chinese people. Its waters provide irrigation for agriculture, transportation for trade, and sustenance for millions. The river's rich biodiversity has sustained communities for generations, offering an abundance of fish, crustaceans, and other aquatic life. The Baiji dolphin, known to scientists as Lepotes vexillifer, was uniquely adapted to life in this dynamic environment. The Yangtze River is home to an astonishing array of aquatic life. Over 400 species of fish call the Yangtze home, including the Chinese paddlefish, the largest freshwater fish in the world, sadly also now presumed extinct. This abundance of prey made the Yangtze an ideal habitat for the Baiji, a predator perfectly equipped to hunt in its murky waters. The river's seasonal floods, while sometimes destructive to human settlements, played a crucial role in the Yangtze's ecosystem. These floods deposited nutrient-rich silt onto the surrounding floodplains, creating fertile ground for agriculture and supporting a complex web of life. The Baiji, too, benefited from these floods, as they expanded its hunting grounds and brought an influx of fish and other prey closer to the surface. Unlike the clear blue waters that many associate with dolphins, the Yangtze is known for its turbidity. The river carries a heavy sediment load, a result of erosion from the Tibetan Plateau and the surrounding mountains. This sediment gives the Yangtze its characteristic brown or yellowish hue and creates a challenging environment for any creature that relies on sight to navigate and hunt. The Baiji, however, was remarkably well suited to life in this murky world. Its eyes, small and poorly developed, were of little use in the Yangtze's low-visibility waters. Instead, the Baiji had evolved an extraordinary sense of echolocation, allowing it to see its surroundings using sound. To produce these vital echolocation clicks, the Baiji had developed a specialized organ called the melon, a fatty deposit located in its forehead. The melon acted like an acoustic lens, focusing the sound waves emitted by the Baiji's nasal passages. These focused sound waves, upon encountering an object, would bounce back to the Baiji's lower jaw, where they were transmitted to the inner ear and interpreted by the brain. The Baiji's echolocation was remarkably sophisticated, allowing it to determine not only the size and shape of objects but also their distance, speed, and even internal structure. These adaptations, honed over millennia, made the Baiji a master of its underwater domain, perfectly at home in the murky depths of the Yangtze River. As China's economy boomed, so did its industries, and the Yangtze, a vital artery for transportation and commerce, bore the brunt of this progress. Factories, power plants, and agricultural operations sprang up along the riverbanks, discharging a cocktail of pollutants into its waters. Untreated sewage, industrial waste, and agricultural runoff poured into the Yangtze, poisoning the very lifeblood of the river. For the Baiji, this pollution was a slow, insidious killer. Heavy metals, pesticides, and other toxins accumulated in the river's ecosystem, contaminating the fish and other prey that the Baiji relied upon for survival. The Yangtze, once a source of life, was becoming a toxic soup, its waters carrying a deadly legacy of human progress. The Yangtze River, once teeming with fish, was facing another, more direct threat: overfishing. The river's rich bounty, which had sustained communities for generations, was now under immense pressure from a growing human population and increasingly efficient fishing methods. Fishermen, equipped with larger nets, more powerful boats, and even explosives, were depleting fish populations at an alarming rate. For the Baiji, this overfishing was a double blow. Not only was its food source disappearing, but it also faced the constant threat of entanglement in fishing gear. The once abundant Yangtze, once a symbol of prosperity, was now a river struggling to breathe, its lifeblood drained by the insatiable appetite of human consumption. As China raced towards modernization, the Yangtze River became a focal point for infrastructure development. Dams, bridges, and shipping channels were constructed along the river's course, fragmenting its natural flow and disrupting the delicate balance of its ecosystem. The Reusable Dam, completed in 1981, and the Three Gorges Dam, completed in 2006, were hailed as engineering marvels, symbols of China's growing economic might. However, these projects came at a steep environmental cost. The dams, while providing hydroelectric power and flood control, also altered the Yangtze's natural flow patterns, disrupted fish migrations, and degraded water quality. The Baiji, highly sensitive to changes in its environment, suffered greatly from these disruptions. The Baiji's decline was not the result of a single threat, but rather a tragic convergence of factors: pollution, overfishing, habitat loss, and the relentless pressure of human activity all conspired to push this unique and ancient species towards the brink of extinction. The Yangtze River, once a sanctuary for the Baiji, had become a microcosm of the challenges facing freshwater ecosystems worldwide. Pollution, habitat degradation, and overexploitation are pushing countless species towards extinction, threatening the delicate balance of life in these vital waterways. The Baiji's fate serves as a wake-up call, a plea for greater awareness, and a call to action to protect our planet's most precious resources. The lessons learned from the Baiji's decline can guide future conservation efforts and inspire us to become better stewards of our planet. As the Baiji's numbers dwindled, so did the sightings of this elusive creature. What was once a familiar sight for fishermen and river dwellers became a rare and precious glimpse. The goddess of the Yangtze, once a symbol of the river's vitality, was fading into the realm of myth and legend. But amidst the growing concern, a glimmer of hope emerged. Scientists and conservationists, both in China and internationally, recognized the urgency of the situation and began to raise the alarm. The Chinese government, in the 1970s, took the unprecedented step of declaring the Baiji a national treasure, a symbol of China's natural heritage and a species worthy of protection. This designation, while largely symbolic in its early stages, marked a turning point in the fight to save the Baiji. One of the most ambitious conservation efforts involved the establishment of protected reserves within the Yangtze River. These sanctuaries, designed to provide a safe haven for the dwindling Baiji population, were carefully selected based on their suitability as Baiji habitat. The goal was to create areas free from fishing, shipping traffic, and other human disturbances, allowing the Baiji to recover and reproduce without the constant threat of human interference. The first of these reserves, the Shishu-Tian-E-Zhou Baiji National Reserve, was established in 1992. Located in Hubei province, this reserve encompassed a section of the Yangtze known to be a historical Baiji stronghold. Other reserves followed, each offering a glimmer of hope for the species' survival. Within these protected areas, scientists conducted surveys, monitored water quality, and implemented measures to reduce pollution and restore habitat. As the Baiji's numbers continued to decline, a debate raged within the conservation community. Should efforts focus on preserving the species in the wild, or should captive breeding programs be established as a last-ditch effort to prevent extinction? Proponents of captive breeding argued that the Yangtze River, even within protected reserves, was too degraded to support a viable Baiji population. They believed that capturing a small number of individuals and breeding them in a controlled environment was the only way to ensure the species' survival. Opponents of captivity argued that removing Baiji from their natural environment would be detrimental to their well-being and could potentially harm the remaining wild population. They argued that the focus should be on addressing the root causes of the Baiji's decline: pollution, overfishing, and habitat destruction, and creating a Yangtze River where the species could once again thrive. The debate was complex and emotionally charged, with valid arguments on both sides. In 1980, a lone male Baiji was captured in Dongting Lake, a tributary of the Yangtze River. Named Chi-Chi, this individual became a symbol of hope for the species, a living testament to the Baiji's enduring spirit. Chi-Chi was transported to the Wuhan Institute of Hydrobiology, where he lived in a specially designed facility for over 2 decades. Scientists studied Chi-Chi extensively, hoping to gain insights into the Baiji's biology, behavior, and the factors contributing to its decline. Chi-Chi's capture sparked renewed interest in the Baiji and fueled efforts to locate other individuals for a potential captive breeding program. However, despite numerous expeditions and extensive surveys, no other Baiji were ever captured. Chi-Chi's solitary existence became a poignant reminder of the species' precarious state and the immense challenges facing conservation efforts. In 2002, after 22 years in captivity, Chi-Chi died. His death, while not entirely unexpected given his advanced age, marked a profound loss for the Baiji conservation effort. Chi-Chi, the last confirmed individual of his species in captivity, had become an icon, a symbol of hope, and a stark reminder of the fragility of life in the face of human impact. Despite valiant efforts, the Baiji's fate took a tragic turn. In 2006, an extensive expedition failed to find any surviving Baiji. The species was declared functionally extinct. The Baiji's disappearance marked a profound loss. It serves as a stark reminder of human impact on ecosystems. The Baiji's legacy lives on in conservation efforts worldwide. The year 2006 marked a turning point in the story of the Baiji, a year etched in sadness and a sense of irreversible loss. An ambitious expedition, international in scope and equipped with the latest acoustic monitoring technology, embarked on a 6-week-long journey across the Yangtze River. Their mission to find evidence of the elusive Baiji and assess its remaining population. The team, comprising leading scientists and conservationists, meticulously scanned the river's murky depths, their hopes clinging to the possibility of detecting the Baiji's unique echolocation clicks. They traversed the river's entire length, from the bustling ports to the quieter stretches where the Baiji was once a familiar sight. Every bend in the river, every ripple on the surface held the promise of a sighting, a beacon of hope in their desperate search. As the weeks turned into months, a chilling silence met their efforts. The once familiar clicks, Those underwater calls that had echoed through the Yangtze for millennia were absent. The river, once a symphony of life, now bore a deafening silence, a testament to the absence of its most enigmatic inhabitant. Section 2. Functionally extinct, a difficult truth. The expedition of 2006, despite its thoroughness and advanced technology, failed to detect a single Baiji. The conclusion was unavoidable, a bitter pill to swallow for all those who had dedicated their lives to saving this unique creature. The Baiji, the goddess of the Yangtze, was declared functionally extinct. This declaration, while heartbreaking, was not entirely unexpected. The Baiji's decline had been tragically swift, a stark reminder of how quickly a species could vanish in the face of unchecked human activity. The term functionally extinct carries a weighty significance. It means that even if a few individuals survived in the vastness of the Yangtze, their numbers were so low that they were unlikely to find mates and reproduce successfully. The Baiji story, while unique in its details, reflects a larger crisis facing freshwater ecosystems worldwide. Pollution, habitat destruction, and overexploitation are pushing countless species towards the brink, with many sharing the Baiji's tragic fate. Lessons from the deep, the Baiji's warning. The disappearance of the Baiji serves as a stark warning, a reminder of the interconnectedness of species and their environments. The Yangtze River, once a vibrant ecosystem teeming with life, had been pushed to its limits, its ability to support its inhabitants severely compromised. The Baiji, at the top of the food chain, was particularly vulnerable to the cumulative impacts of pollution, overfishing, and habitat degradation. Its decline mirrored the declining health of the river itself, a somber testament to the interconnectedness of all living things. The Baiji's story underscores the urgent need for a more holistic approach to conservation, one that addresses the root causes of biodiversity loss, such as unsustainable development practices, climate change, and the relentless demand for resources. A river's redemption, hope for the future. The loss of the Baiji, while a tragedy, has galvanized conservation efforts in China and beyond. The Chinese government, recognizing the urgent need to protect its remaining biodiversity, has implemented stricter regulations on pollution, fishing, and development along the Yangtze River. There is a renewed focus on restoring the river's health, on reversing the damage that has been done. Efforts are underway to improve water quality, restore habitats, and establish new protected areas. The Yangtze finless porpoise, a smaller cetacean that shares the Baiji's freshwater habitat, has become a flagship species for conservation, a symbol of hope for the river's future. The story of the Baiji, though marked by loss, is not without hope. It serves as a catalyst for change, a reminder that we have the power to choose a different path, to become better stewards of our planet. The Yangtze, though forever changed, has the potential for renewal, and the lessons learned from the Baiji's demise can guide us towards a future where both humanity and nature can thrive. The Baiji's legacy, a river's silence, a world's loss. The Yangtze, once a river of myths, now carries a silence more profound than any legend. The Baiji, the goddess of the Yangtze, is gone, a victim of a rapidly changing world. Its absence reminds us how our actions can have unintended but devastating consequences. The Baiji's story is a global wake-up call. Freshwater ecosystems face similar threats worldwide. Pollution chokes rivers, dams disrupt flows, and overfishing depletes populations. The Baiji's fate reminds us we are part of nature's web. Though the Baiji is gone, its legacy lives on. It lives on in those who fought to save it, in lessons learned, and in the determination to protect biodiversity. The Baiji's story is a call to action, an urgent plea to become better stewards of our planet, to recognize that our choices today will determine the fate of countless species and our planet's health. A ripple of hope, the future of freshwater dolphins. The loss of the Baiji has ignited hope. Its demise has galvanized global conservation efforts. Efforts are underway to restore the Yangtze River's health. New protected areas and stricter regulations are being enforced. The Yangtze finless porpoise symbolizes hope and resilience. The Baiji's story reminds us that hope endures. We have the power to choose a sustainable path. The future of freshwater dolphins rests on us. Let the Baiji's legacy guide us towards harmony.